Good morning everyone and welcome to the news. This is Dio Rahul Firmansach. I'm standing here to serve you the oldest and the most leading news of the hour. And here's the headlines. At the start of COVID-19 outbreak in the US, there is a expected upsurge in hate crimes against people of Asian descent.
Federal hate crimes data for 2020 has yet to be released. However, hate crimes in 2019 are known to be at their highest level in more than a decade.
After what I went through in this pandemic, I realized that they will always see you as an outsider because you do look different.
Late last year, the United Nations released a report detailing the alarming levels of racially motivated violence and other incidents of hatred against Asian Americans. It is difficult to determine exact numbers for such crimes and cases of discrimination, as no government organization or agency tracks these issues over the long term, and reporting standards can differ from region to region. The advocacy group Stop AAPI had said it's received more than 2,800 reports of hate incidents aimed at Asian Americans nationwide last year. The group set up an online self-reporting tool at the start of the pandemic.
As cities open up, we're expecting a surge in anti-Asian racism even more.
My sister died over that COVID. That Chinese broad here.
So I'm expecting when kids go back to schools, they're going to get bullied. When we go back into the office place, we'll face jokes. When we go out into the streets, we're going to be harassed even more.
Are you from China?
Why is that?
You haven't heard of the coronavirus?
People are targeting whom they think is vulnerable.
Come here, sanitize your.
So women, children, and elderly.
I talk about the Chinese virus, and I mean it. That's where it came from.
I can name Kung Flu.
Then there are spikes after politicians use the term Chinese virus. They associate Asians with masks with the disease, and they think of the disease as being Chinese.
In recent weeks, a number of celebrities and influencers have spoken up after several disturbing incidents went viral on social media.
I shouted for help, but nobody helped me, so I put my hands on my face. I saw the blood oozing.
Here are some of the attacks that were recently reported. An 84-year-old Thai immigrant in San Francisco, California died last month after being pushed roughly to fall during an early morning walk. In Oakland, California, a 91-year-old senior was pushed onto the sidewalk from behind. An 81-year-old Chinese woman was slapped and burned by two men in Brooklyn, New York. A stranger on the New York subway slashed the face of a 91-year-old Filipino-American passenger with a cardboard knife. What is the situation in California?
For me, it's absolutely disgusting. Stop hate against Asian people. We have no tolerance for discrimination of any kind. We stand with the Asian community.
No justice! No justice!
It's scary just to be an Asian American woman anywhere in the US.
A lot of shock, a lot of anger, pain, getting tired of seeing the same news on the headline week after week.
It's heartbreaking, and yet it's not a surprise. This hate towards Asian Americans has been building for years.
It's still really heartbreaking to see that people just let hate and racism and illogical discrimination take over and create such pain.
More than 6 million Americans of Asian descent live in the state of California, according to the most recent population estimate, and it is the highest number of any U.S. region. They make up more than 15% of the population in the state. The coronavirus has hit the state hard and is also one of the hardest hit areas, halting urban activities and busy business activities. This virus has claimed the lives of more than 50,000 Californians. From March to May 2020 alone, more than 800 incidents of COVID-related hatred were reported from 34 countries in the state, according to the report released by the Asia Pacific Policy Planning Council. Me and all the crews of the news said, have a wonderful day. See you next time.